Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE Monday Night Raw episode 1408, NXT episode 563, NXT UK episode 95, SmackDown episode 1083, and 205 Live episode 180. So this is the last episode for a while that I'll be doing for the weekly episodes. Because I'll be talking about the weekly episodes over on twitch.tv/thedemonjackal as I play WWE Supercard. Or I might do very quick weekly recap episodes. But anyway, which is what I've been doing these last couple of weeks anyway. But I will absolutely be doing the pay-per-view episodes. First up this month. And later this week. Next weekend, actually a week from today, I'm posting this on Saturday, and this will be on Sunday the 7th. NXT TakeOver in Your House. I will do an episode about that, and I will do an episode about, Backlash. The greatest wrestling match ever, Backlash. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway... go follow on Twitch, twitch.tv/thedemonjackal. And I'll be talking about so much wrestling over there, at the very least. Maybe in other ways, in other venues as well. But anyway, let's get this party going. First up on Raw, I should have rewritten my notes. I have such sloppy handwriting here. But anyway, let's see. We have the NXT Zoo in the audience. That's what I wrote there. Since they're behind plexiglass, and it seems like they're on exhibit, which, hey, give them some chairs. How about some chairs? Or some tall stools, which are technically a type of chair. They would look the same on screen if they were in tall stools. And then they're not, you're not tiring them out. They're getting more, I think they would get more tired just from one episode of Raw having to stand the entire time than if they had a wrestling match. Get them some chairs, please. Did they just throw away all those chairs that they had in there the first week? Anyway, Kevin Owens show with special guest Asuka, but then Charlotte comes out, Natalya arrives, Nia also arrives, and they all want that championship. And Charlotte lost a feather, and Kevin tries to give it to her. We had I don't remember what came of that segment. But they had their match later. We'll get to that. Then we had Apollo Crews versus Andrade for the United States Championship because Apollo challenged Andrade a couple weeks ago after he had been injured in their tournament match. I think it was the tournament match, contenders match of some kind. But Apollo won. He's the new United States champion. And that's really cool. That's awesome. And we see Andrade going nuts in the back. He is furious that he lost the championship. The Vega Alliance is falling apart piece by piece by piece. Seth has a message for Rey Mysterio. And he has Rey's mask, and he's holding it like some type of mythical artifact this entire episode. I forget what that message is, but I guess next week, Rey Mysterio will be having a retirement celebration of some sort, a retirement announcement. It's we'll see what happens with that. I think that there's a strong chance that Dominic will come and talk him out of it again and be like, what the heck, Dad? I just told you last time that we were going to be a tag team together, right? I remind you of that. So you won't quit. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I did say that. Okay, then up next, the Iconics come out and Peyton apologized, but Billy apologizes. She said she felt awful for what she did because Peyton was trying to apologize for losing their match, and Billy said, "No, I'm so sorry for slapping you." And they say that they should be champs, and then Alexa and Nikki arrive. They attack. And that's all I wrote down for that part. MVP introduces the soon-to-be former champion, Drew McIntyre, who claims MVP while Bobby is making his entrance. Kevin Owens versus Angel Garza happens next. He gets attacked during the entrance. Kevin Owens does, I think. Oh, I don't remember. But Angel Garza wins that match. Then we have Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders in golf. And the Viking Raiders bring a cooler full of meat, not of drinks. So that's very gross. The Viking Raiders win 144 to 28. Or rather, they lose 144 to 28. They keep pulling. They then pull a bunch of stuff out of that final hole, including a turkey leg. And then there's an alligator. It's very strange, but I liked it. And then they challenge. There's another challenge. There's a tiebreaker, kind of, but it's not a tiebreaker. The next one will be bowling. So looking forward to that. Then we had Austin Theory and Buddy Murphy versus Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo. Theory wins the match via ATL to Humberto. And they threaten Humberto's eye when Aleister is about to try to fight them off afterwards. Edge has some words for Randy. Another great video promo for him. Then we have Asuka arrive to be on commentary for Charlotte versus Natalya versus Nia Jax. But before that match happens, MVP and Bobby Lashley challenge the Street Profits because MVP says they're just being a joke. They're not being champions. Being a joke doing golf, basketball, axe throwing. It's all silly. So then we have Charlotte versus Natalya versus Nia. This really, Charlotte and Natalya did not need to be in this match. I mean, it was really good. It was a good match, but the results of it makes you think, why was it even a match? Because if Nia was going to win, why couldn't it have been two other opponents, people who it made more sense to be in line for contendership? Could have been Liv Morgan in there. It could have been Kairi Sane in there. I think Liv Morgan makes a little bit more sense. She's been on a winning streak somewhat. And of course, Shayna Baszler should have been in there. So if you had Shayna Baszler and Liv Morgan versus Nia, and you could still have Nia win by pinning Liv Morgan, and that could have worked fine, but that's not what they did. It was still a good match, though. It was a very good match. R-Truth says he'll tackle any football man he has to get back the 24/7 championship. Ric Flair appears from his home on a video phone. Not on a video phone. It's just a phone, but it has video. His pick for the greatest match of all time, potentially, is Randy Orton. Liv Morgan says that she is alive. That's all I wrote down there. I can't remember exactly what else she said. And then the Street Profits versus MVP and Lashley ends in disqualification after a full Nelson delivered to Montez Ford. They holds on for too long. And then McIntyre arrives and kind of breaks up the madness there. Next week, like I said, there's a Rey Mysterio retirement ceremony. This was announced around the end of the show. Okay. There you go. So it was an interesting Raw. Just a couple of things that bothered me about throughout the night, but otherwise it was pretty entertaining, and I really liked the golf stuff. And that the tag team match at the end is great. And even the stuff that was annoyed about, I still thought was really good. Anyway, except for there had to be a point where Lana is yelling and stuff. Oh, also another change. If I do some kind of weekly recap thing here on the podcast itself, I will not have Spotify, at least for the next couple of months. Not Spotify, Sling. So I won't be watching Raw and NXT the night that they air. I'll be watching them the next night, either on Hulu or the network. So yeah, so my thoughts, if you want my thoughts on those two shows, then tune in to twitch.tv/thedemonjackal on Wednesday morning when I'll talk about Raw, because I'll be watching it Tuesday night, and Thursday morning or Friday morning to talk about NXT, because I'll be watching it Thursday night, and that'll also give me plenty of time to watch NXT UK by then. But yeah, there you go. All right, NXT 563. This is from May 27th, 2020. I didn't say the dates of everything at the top of the show. May 25th through May 29th, 2020 is all these shows. We had Drake Maverick versus Jake Atlas versus Kushida in a triple threat for to get into the final of the interim cruiserweight championship. Drake Maverick win when he pins Atlas. Well, Kushida has him in an armbar. That's because, the referee was on the wrong side of his positioning was off, that he couldn't see that right before he counted to 3, that Jake Atlas tapped out to that armbar. So quite a bit of controversy there. But Kushida later on gives Drake Maverick his blessing. He says, "Just go win." And Drake Maverick says, "Thank you. When I win, you will get the first match." Absolutely. So that'd be interesting. As well, it's gonna be interesting if Drake Maverick wins. Like, wow. I hope so. I was so happy that he got into the final. It's such a weird thing. It's so weird, but I'm excited for it. We had Johnny Gargano Invitational. He fought a fella named Adrian Alanis and won. I think it was pretty quickly. But then we go to see Keith Lee and Mia Yim having dinner. Yikes. Keith says to Mia's first roasting of the others. Tegan delivers our pizza, but Tegan is a villain. How are everybody mad at Tegan for being on Keith and Mia's side, but she's the villain here? She ate all of their pizza except for one slice on the way from picking it up for them. Rude. So rude. Okay. Up next, we had Shotzi Blackheart versus Raquel Gonzalez. Awesome stuff. Dakota tears apart her tank, and then Tegan comes and attacks. Candice then comes out and argues with Tegan, and then there's some Dakota Kai interference, which leads to a Raquel Gonzalez pin for the win. Then we had Rhea and Io Shirai team up versus Charlotte and her mystery partner, Chelsea Green. Charlotte got a roll up on Io after Io hit Rhea off of the apron. This is all building up to this triple threat for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver in Your House. And Chelsea Green she saved Flair right before that from getting hit. So it was a whole series of events that came together for that victory. And also Charlotte got her feet up on the ropes. Yeah, I guess she wanted some payback in a way for having lost to Bayley in a similar manner. But she was so close to the ropes that I thought like it was like like her legs were like completely folded up. Not completely, but it was because she was only like a foot away from the ropes. Anyway, what am I saying? let's go on to the next thing. Later on, it is, or online, it's real backstage that Chelsea Green, during their interview, Chelsea Green fires Robert Stone. She's left the Robert Stone brand, perhaps. It seems like it. Was Robert Stone able to smooth things out? I don't know. But if not, then he might just go back on his hands and knees, begging Aaliyah, yes, I still want you in the fold here. We'll see. Adam Cole argues with Regal on Skype, and Regal tells him to stop acting like a baby. Stop acting like a baby. That's right. He said, stop acting like a baby. The best joke of the week. There'll be he gives into his demands in a way that Velveteen Dream will not be able to challenge for the NXT Championship again if he loses, and as long as Adam Cole is the champion. He'll pick, William Regal will pick a special location for this match. So see, maybe it'll be at a swimming pool. That's good. I'm kind of hoping for. Then we have Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. They cut a promo as they're enjoying a couple of drinks, that they're going after Imperium, and I'm excited for that. Poor Leon Ruff faces off against Ciampa and is absolutely destroyed. As Scarlett appears during Ciampa's entrance and just standing there at the bottom of the ramp the entire time, and then we have a big video screen message from Karrion Kross after that. I think it was maybe made official that it's Karrion Kross versus Ciampa at In Your House, but I might be misremembering that. It was definitely announced it's Johnny Gargano versus Keith Lee for the North American Championship at In Your House, so that would be really good. Then we had this epic pit fight, different from just a regular cage fight or a steel cage match, because there are no ring posts inside of the cage. There's a sort of scaffolding platform around the outside at the top of the cage. And what other differences are there? Those are the main two. And also, special guest referee Kurt Angle. Great to see him in the ring once again. So we had Riddle versus Thatcher. Thatcher lost a few teeth. This is a brutal match. It's pretty awesome. Thatcher eventually put Riddle to sleep with that submission hold. I forget what exact hold he used. But there you go. And then later on, SmackDown, jumping forward, we get an announcement from Kurt Angle. It said, I had an opportunity to experience his talent firsthand. Matt Riddle is coming to SmackDown. So, I hope that Matt Riddle goes right after the Intercontinental Championship first, and then the Universal Championship after that, after he loses the Intercontinental Championship for some reason. Or he could hold both. I'd be okay with that. Before we get to SmackDown, I'm starting to talk too much about SmackDown yet, because first, just real quick, NXT UK, we had another archives show. This is NXT UK episode 95. This was Hidden Gems. These were matches that have not been broadcast before from throughout the past couple of years. I didn't write down the dates for these matches, but this episode is worth checking out because these are a couple of pretty cool matches. But they're the kind of things where it's like, oh yeah, there's no way so-and-so is going to win this. It's totally like, just to make the obvious winner look really good. And for some of these, but Finn Balor versus Kenny Williams. Like Kenny Williams did not stand a chance there. Finn Balor won, of course. Rhea Ripley defeated Nina Samuels. I think this one might have been from Download Festival, and or Killian Dane versus Travis Banks. That might have also been from Download Festival. Killian Dane won that match. And then we had Grizzled Young Veterans and Joseph Connors take on the triple threat of Street Profits and Matt Riddle. So that was a really fun match to watch, especially the night before, having seen Matt Riddle get beaten up a lot. So yeah, go check that out, even though I just told you the winners. But when you see those, well, I didn't tell you the winner of that last match because I don't remember who won that last match. I think it might have been Matt Riddle got the win there. But anyway, yeah, a good NXT UK episode this week. Nice hidden gems. Then we had Raw episode 1040. No, I looped back to the beginning. We had SmackDown. It was a 1084 from May 29th, 2020. But before we get to that, real quick, 205 Live, we had Tyler Breeze versus Tony Nese. Tony Nese won, a much-needed victory for him via the running Nese. And then we had Tahuti Miles versus Danny Burch, which Tahuti Miles won? Did that really happen? Did I write that down incorrectly? That's a huge upset. I don't know how I feel about that. I gotta double check this. Yep, I went back and checked, and sure enough, Tahuti Miles got the win over Danny Burch. Incredible. Yeah, so another good, just about 25 minutes if you watch it on the network. Watch on NXT, they probably fill up the other half of the hour, like another 20 minutes or so of highlights from Raw and SmackDown. So, yeah, watch it on the network. If you have the network, watch 205 Live on the network because it doesn't have all that extra filler stuff. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure if they're still doing that, but the last time I tried watching an episode over there, that's what I ran into. It's like, oh, this is like a whole hour? Oh, it's a lot of recap from previous. The last time that I tried that was when Stone Cold Steve Austin was at the end. They're at the end of the show. I think it was their first no audience episode of Raw, and Byron Saxton was over there going, "Oh hell yeah!" And Steve Austin's, what are you doing? Anyway, SmackDown, we open up with outside of the Performance Center. There's been a car accident. Elias is on the ground. There's a silver Toyota. It's a rental car in the like stuffed under the seats. Keep it in your glove box. Don't put the rental car stuff like on the floor. Anyway, Jeff Hardy is on the name of the rental car. Braun Strowman was a witness. He's saying, telling everybody what he saw happen, that he tried to go over there to see what's going on. The guy dressed all in black stumbled out of the car and ran off. The police and some of the staff, they come across Jeff Hardy in the bushes, and he smells like the bottles that were in the car. So what's going on here? Maybe Braun Strowman set this all up. But whatever it is, Jeff Hardy is arrested, and Elias is taken away to the hospital. Neither of them are able to compete in their matches against Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. So he cut to backstage with the very, very tall guy who for some reason isn't a wrestler, but he's like bigger than everybody else except for Braun Strowman, who doesn't appear in this scene. And they like they keep arguing about what they're going to do for the show. So there's like a solid 5 minutes or so of the show. We're like, oh, what's the rest of the show going to be? Basically, which I thought was ridiculous, but I also kind of enjoyed that. Daniel Bryan still wants to fight somebody in this semifinal match. AJ Styles like, what are you're an idiot. Just take this opportunity. Just be you versus me in the semifinal. Let's do it. So, yeah, it's this. Everybody wants a claim to that. Everyone wants second chances, and all, including, especially King Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura. But no, Shinsuke Nakamura doesn't seem to care that much. It was who did Jeff Hart? Sheamus. I already said Sheamus. Sheamus and King Corbin. They're the ones who mostly want another chance. Shorty G is also in the mix there as we get a battle royal. The winner of the battle royal will go on to face Daniel Bryan. The final three in that match is Jey Uso. Jay also wanted a piece of that action because Jimmy is currently injured. So that was really cool to see him in there. But Sheamus ends up winning the Battle Royal and later on has a match against Daniel Bryan. So King Corbin went on a big run of eliminations early on, but then he eventually got eliminated. And then Cesaro was doing real well, but Shorty G took him out, and then Cesaro got revenge on him and threw him out of the ring while all the referees were distracted with Shinsuke Nakamura doing stuff. I think it was Shinsuke. And then, so that led to Cesaro versus Shorty G in a one-on-one match, which Shorty G won with a reversal out of a power bomb. I think that was, which is really cool. But Sheamus, he would then go on in the main event to fight Daniel Bryan. But before that, up next we had Lacey Evans versus Sonya Deville in a match that was brewed online with talking about hair color and stuff. But there's a double count out and the brawl continued from there. I saw some rumors that Sonya's talent management agency, whatever you call it, that they're really pushing for, because it was Ruby Rose announced that she was leaving Batwoman, and I think that would be really awesome if Sonya Deville took on that mantle and the wig cowl. It's more of a wig cowl than a mantle. Anyway, we'll see what further develops there between Sonya and Lacey and Mandy and all that. Because later on, we also had Mandy and Otis at poolside celebrating stuff. I don't know what I don't know. They're just having a great time. And Mandy goes to sleep on that lounge chair while Otis goes to have some fun in the pool. And she dreams that everything is so perfect and romantic and all that, but then she gets woken up by a big cannonball splash of water, and she's still just as happy that Otis is there. So I thought that was really nice. I was worried they were going in the direction that she'd be disgusted that this is reality, but no, she's also happy that he's the way he is. So that's great. We had a moment of bliss with special guest The New Day, a tag team champion summit or whatever they called it. The New Day tries to give them some handmade coffee, which is very gross, and luckily Alexa Bliss does not drink any of it. Sasha and Bayley interrupt. They said that they can win those right back whenever they want, the tag team championships. And Bayley challenges Alexa Bliss on Sasha Banks' behalf, and Sasha's like, "What? Look what I'm wearing. I have these gigantic heeled boots on. I can't fight." And Alexa Bliss knocks her down with a big drop kick, and Bayley says, "Oh, I'll go get your shoes. Hold on, it's okay." And then we come back from the commercial break. It's Nikki Cross and Bayley on commentary for Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss, and it was just mayhem, funny mayhem with Nikki just on top of the desk, and Bayley is asking if anybody has a water bottle, and she needs to calm down, and I really like that. I don't know what this last thing I wrote is. Oh, Bayley, chicken taunt. She gets up onto the ring and starts going bark, 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 and flapping her arms like chicken wings. And that is just enough of a distraction for Sasha Banks to get the win. Somehow, I forget how exactly that worked out, but this might have earned them a tag team championship match. But it was also funny before all of the wrestling occurred that Alexa kind of gave some crap to Sasha Banks. Is like, oh, I see 5 championships out here. Where's yours, Sasha? Good one. Then we had Kurt Angle announce that Matt Riddle, bro, will be coming to SmackDown. That's going to be great. Then we had Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. Daniel Bryan wins the match. I forget if this happened before or after that. Oh, yeah. Jeff Hardy shows up. He's been released by the police. I think online they said that he passed all the sobriety tests and all of that. But hey, he still was in an accident that injured somebody, and you just let him go. I don't know what the rules are in Florida. But Jeff Hardy shows up. Daniel Bryan hits Sheamus in the face with his knee, and then Jeff Hardy attacks after Daniel Bryan gets the win there. So it will still be Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles at for the final next week, or will it be? Are they doing that at the pay-per-view? I don't know. But either way, it's going to be a great match. Can't ask for a greater matchup than that, unless it is Randy Orton versus Edge, the greatest wrestling match ever. Potentially, maybe. Asterisk. It could be. And that's So I think I'm starting to think that Jeff Hardy was set up, possibly by Braun Strowman. How crazy would that be? But more likely by either King Corbin or Sheamus. Sheamus benefited the most, as it turned out, but still fell short. But it was going to be, to take the place of the person who knocked him out of the challenge in the first round. That's a lot of motivation right there. But King Corbin, his motivation could have been to set somebody else up for eliminating the person who beat him, Elias, because Elias was taken to the hospital. He forfeited his spot. He didn't forfeit it, but he lost his spot because not being able to compete. So it could have been either of them. It could be the hacker. What if the hacker hacked into the car and caused this all to happen? But I think we should consider, is Braun Strowman a reliable witness? Is what he said happens what actually happened? Why don't they have security cameras out in the parking lot there? Maybe that's what we'll see from the hacker later on. That I don't know, but I think because Jeff Hardy, he seemed really out of it and all that, but that could have been because he got really beaten up by somebody, not because he was inebriated. So maybe I'm sure we'll find out more about all of that next week. But there you go. I'm really excited for, I guess, since my next episode is going to be for in your house takeover. Real quick, my predictions for what's been announced. Tommaso Ciampa versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett, singles match. I think Karrion Kross wins that. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai. I really hope Io Shirai wins. Io, come on, give it to Io. Take it, Io. Then we had Finn Balor versus Damian Priest in the singles match. I think Finn Balor wins there. Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream. Last chance match for the NXT Championship. If Dream loses, he can no longer challenge for the NXT Championship while Cole is still champion. I kind of said those words. In a special location, I hope it's at a swimming pool. But Adam Cole's still going to win. He's still going to win. Because then that forces Velveteen Dream to move on to do something else. Which could be go after the winner of Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano, singles match for the NXT North American Championship. I don't see Gargano winning here. Keith Lee is just too good and gigantic. He is like 3 times Johnny Gargano's size. Might literally be 3 times his size. Let's see. 320 pounds, not 3 times his size. Johnny Gargano is at 100 pounds. 199. So he's got a good 120 pounds on him. So we'll see how that works out for everybody. Yeah, so stay tuned. That will definitely be, if nothing else, that will be my next episode. And I might briefly talk about the rest of the week of stuff. But I'll mostly be talking about In Your House. So there you go. If you want more detailed, specifically about individual shows throughout the week, be sure to tune in to twitch.tv/thedemonjackal. I go live almost every morning. The schedule is on the page. And that's where I'll be mostly talking about the podcast other than here on the podcast. But mostly talking about wrestling other than here on the podcast. That's what I meant. Okay, so that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see how these next couple of months go, or at least this month goes. I might cave in and switch back to doing the normal thing like very quickly. But for right now, I'll attempt this new plan. So let me know what you thought about everything this week, what your predictions are for In Your House and Backlash by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe, healthy, and happy out there in all the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.